What is up, guys? Welcome into the live chat that we host every single Tuesday night at 7:15 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Welcome in. First of all, audio, video check. Can we get a quick check on that? If you guys are in the chat, let me know. YouTube's got this weird thing where you can go into Creator Studio and do an event stream, which is what we usually do. And I'm actually using a different method, which is just they have this camera setting. So hopefully the quality is going to be a little bit better. All right. So video choppy, audio is good. Guy in the video still needs a makeover. I'm working on it. I did nothing with beard, oil, nothing today. I literally woke up, showered, and hit RA all day from 9 to 5-ish, and then got to the office. I just got done unpacking. I've got 2 table loads of inventory that we picked up today, so I'm feeling really good. And on top of that, we had a killer day. For the first time in a while, I hit $1,000 in sales on Amazon today, which has not happened in a while. Most of you know by now, I took like 8 weeks off of Amazon. I was focusing on other projects and really just spreading myself too thin. Poor excuse for not putting effort into it. So I'm putting effort back into it again, and it's finally starting to pay off because now I'm having a lot higher sales days, averaging between like 200 to 250 on average. I adjusted some things in my repricer last night, and it just took off this morning. So we're having a kick-ass day today, which I am super excited about. Let me see if there is a way to adjust my camera setting. I don't know where to adjust my settings in this one. All right. So video is going to be a little bit choppy on this one. My apologies. I think what I'm going to do is run a hard line into my computer for now on when we do live stream, so we can get a much smoother quality on the video side. So I'm going to start running a hard line in there. But yeah, so we'll roll with it. How about that? I have no agenda tonight, no topic that I'm bringing to the table. I've just been focusing on RA and OA. I've been doing a lot more OA. I've got a big order coming in tomorrow. I've got I've got 11 or 12 boxes getting dropped off tomorrow from one OA order. So I'm really pumped about that one. It feels good to be back in action. If you guys are on our Instagram or Facebook page, you know that yesterday we actually sent out 16 boxes. You guys, it feels so good to be having higher sales days again because I've been working my butt off. I'm tired, but I love every minute of it. Like today, outsourcing, we're blessed with grandparents that live within 10 minutes each direction of us. So little man Titus, who's our almost 4-year-old, here next month he'll be 4. But they watched him today. So Trista got to do her work. I got to do my work. And today was just a really good day. I am not loving what my chat bar is doing right now. It is literally going blank on me. All right, you're back. I might have to go back to the old method because this method so far, I don't know where my settings are, and I can't figure out why the chat keeps doing that. If your chat goes blank, I'm sorry. So that's kind of where I'm at today. I feel good because I know that the work I've been putting in for the last 4 or 5 weeks of not seeing results, because there's that momentum build that has to happen when you start to push towards something. That momentum is finally starting to go in the positive direction, and my sales are reflecting it. I'm sending in multiple shipments to Amazon every week. I finally, I'm so happy. I finally hired somebody. We did the traditional. We put out an application for people to fill out, and we got about 10 applicants that I filtered down that I thought were really good. And from those 10, we ended up filtering down even more to our top few. There's 3. And we took them to Starbucks, interviews, all that fun stuff. Found one guy that has an electronics background and eBay experience. It was a perfect lineup. So he is actually tackling my electronics corner, which I've just been neglecting for the last like 4 weeks. So he's been tackling that. He had his first shift yesterday, put in a good 4 hours. Didn't even need to tell him what to do. He just I gave him the basic outline, what my expectations are, what his job tasks are going to be when he's here, and he's going to be here several days a week. And he was like, okay, done. And he just got to work, and he deep cleaned and organized everything first, started cleaning and testing some stuff, and then he's back in for the next couple days to be hammering that out. So the 100 to 10K challenge account is going to be coming back with a vengeance, because it's full blown as of now. I've got an official employee, which I've been needing for a while. The next step is to have him trained on prepping and shipping my Amazon stuff, because I've still been prepping and shipping all my own Amazon stuff, which is the most time consuming part. And it's the part that I should not be doing. I should be out buying every day. I should be outsourcing every day, especially now that we're in Q4. I'm trying to get him trained ASAP so I can focus on buying more. Because that's the biggest thing. If you want to talk about Q4, I learned last year that if you are spending more time just prepping and shipping and lollygagging around on your listings and messing around with pricing, if you're spending more time doing that stuff and not enough time sourcing more product, you're going to cap out. And that's what happened to us last year. We had a great Q4 last year, but I felt like we could have done so much better if I had just been more consistent with sourcing. So this is probably the most consistent, I'm going to say, in my 3 years of reselling, this is the most consistent I've ever been. Not with the eBay aspect, obviously that's now getting back into control, but with Amazon, this is the most consistent I've ever been. I've been doing tactical arbitrage nearly every single day for many weeks. I've been doing retail arbitrage at least 2 days a week. And my retail arbitrage days, my RA days are not like go to 1 or 2 stores and then come back. I'm only gone for a few hours. My nearest Target is 40 minutes away. And we have local people in here too, so they know what I'm talking about. Our nearest Target down here is 40 minutes away. So it makes no sense for me to drive 40 minutes, go to a Target and a Walmart, and then drive back home and be gone for, 2.5, 3 hours. If I'm going to do an RA day, my RA days are like today. I left the house at 9:30, had to go do a local pickup. I actually have it right here. I'll show you what I picked up today. I don't know how, somehow between moving out of our old office into this office, I lost my Dymo. I have my 450 that prints off the item labels, but I lost my Dymo, my 4XL. Luckily, I found another one on Facebook Marketplace for $100, which is a really good deal. Amazon, obviously eBay's a good option too, but if you can get those for $100 or less, that's a pretty good deal on a 4XL. I don't know where it's literally stored in a box somewhere, but I lost my 4XL. So that was my first pickup at 9:30 a.m. And then from there, it was just retail arbitrage. I hit 7 stores today. I just got back here a little bit ago, got my bags unbagged. All the product is organized on my tables, ready to be checked in tomorrow when I do the shipment. And that's how my RA days are. I find I'm much more productive if I just do that twice a week and get a huge load of stuff as much as I possibly can in those 2 days. And then do 2, sometimes one, it's just one. Like yesterday, I shipped out 200 units. So that was everything over the week, just compiled into one shipment. These are all going to be done tomorrow. I don't know how many units. I spent $1,200 over, there's probably like 50, 60, maybe upwards of 75 units. It's under 100. That's how much I picked up today. So I'm going to be focusing on getting that all shipped out tomorrow. So that's where I'm at. That's my little life update for the week. I feel really good. I'm in a great spot physically, mentally. I've been kicking my own ass inside of the gym. I've been really pushing myself harder than I think I ever have. And my nutrition has been so spot on. I have not had any sugar in, I think I'm on day 8 of pretty much 0 sugar. I feel phenomenal right now. So that's that's where I'm at. I want to check in with you guys because that's what I'm here for. It's my little life update for you. So let me jump into the chat, which is what we're here for, do some Q&A. And we don't really have a topic of the night. So you guys get to guide the conversation for the next 50 minutes. 8:15 on the dot is when we are cutting it off of here because my little man I have not seen all day, and I got to go rough house and throw him around the living room for a bit before he goes to bed. Where did I go today? I went to stores. That's all I'm going to tell you. I went to stores. There's one thing so anyone who's been with us for a while, because we've been running this YouTube channel pretty much as long as I've been a reseller. I started this YouTube channel when I was 3 weeks in. And back then when there was 100 subscribers or 100 people on the Facebook group and that kind of stuff, I would openly share every single detail, every single product, because there was no fear of saturation. But I've got a YouTube channel of 80,000 people. So unfortunately, I cannot give out publicly exactly which stores I'm going to, exactly what products I'm giving up. If you guys got into it before it shut down, the doors are now closed. But if you got in there, that's where I'm sharing behind the scenes of what I'm actually purchasing. OA, oh, my bad. OA is a term in Amazon world. It stands for online arbitrage. That's when and RA is retail arbitrage. So you have the retail side and the online side. Both are essentially the exact same thing. One of them, you just go into physical stores. OA is online. So you just go to the main websites. And all we're doing is we're purchasing products. Sometimes you can buy them at retail price, full retail price, and sell them for a profit on Amazon or eBay. And then most of the time you're looking for stuff that's been clearance down, and then you flip it back onto Amazon or eBay for the full price and you pocket the difference. Yes. Do I use tactical arbitrage? I use TA every single day. That's been a staple. That's how I do 99% of my OA. There's a few websites that I do manual sourcing for other reasons, and I do really well with that. But yeah, tactical arbitrage is what I use. Do you have bolos when you go out to do RA, or do you just freestyle it? So here's kind of let's take today, for example. It depends on the store or like the chain of stores or, whatever retail store. So if I go into, like today, I had kind of one chain of stores I was really focusing on. So when I hit stores number 1 and 2, and I did 7 of them total today. When I hit stores number 1 and 2, it's freestyle. I literally spend the most amount of time in that first and second store because I am taking my time and scanning every single product I can. So if I'm doing shoes, I'm looking up as many shoes as I possibly can. Today was focused on toys. So what I did was I went in and I scanned every toy. It took me about an hour and a half in the first store. Now, I'm not going to spend an hour and a half in every store after that, because what I'm doing is I'm making a mental checklist. I know that when there are toys that are a good profit in one store, chances are higher that they're going to be in the other stores too. So by the time I got to stores number 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I didn't need to really do a whole lot of scanning because I was seeing the same repeat toys and I knew exactly which ones were worth money by that point. But those first couple stores are usually when you're going in blind. You don't know the numbers until you just scan it for your Amazon sellers app. You just scan it or you check the comps on eBay. Too many people, this is a big mistake I used to make. If you want something tangible right now, too many people walk into stores and they're prejudging if they think it will be a good buy or not. And I'm telling you this, the most boring products are going to make you money. Don't walk by the stuff that you look at and you're like, man, no one's going to buy that. No, that's already marked at $10. No one's going to pay more than $10 on Amazon. It might be selling for $20. You don't know until you scan it. And too many people are trying to go by their gut instinct. And I'm telling you that data is going to win in this game. Sure, you're going to have some lucky shots where you take just based on pure gut instinct. You take a shot at a product, you might make some money, but I'm telling you that data is going to always win in this ball game, and you've got to scan everything. And that's why I think I do well with retail arbitrage. That's like my main. I know how to make money with RA. That's my number one source of income. I know how to make money with RA, and it comes down to the fact that I'm willing to drive further than most people, and I'm willing to scan every single product. I'm willing to spend half a day in one store so I can get familiar with the inventory. Then when I go to the next store, I can start to spot if different stores have different inventory and when there's new stuff coming out hitting the shelves. When you are in stores every single week, You know exactly what the rotations are for their trucks that come in with new inventory. You're able to look at, if you look at the toy aisle in Walmart, for example, they've all kind of got the exact same layout. Same thing with Target. Each aisle is going to be the exact same to a degree in each store. So if I've got two different Walmarts, both I'm looking down, let's say like the boys toy aisle, the one that's got Transformers and some Lego and all that kind of stuff. If I'm looking down there in one store and I'm spending a lot of time in there scanning every product, I get to know what that inventory looks like in that aisle. When I go to the next store down the same aisle and I see that there's a few SKUs that are different or new or a slight variation, those are the ones I'm interested in because I'm looking at something that's a little bit different and it's not accessible in every single store. Even in your big box stores, inventory is going to slightly vary. There's certain stores I can tell you, even Walmart and Target. I know which Targets and Walmarts in my area have the best inventory because they're flagship stores or they have the most volume of foot traffic that goes in. So their corporate is going to send them some different type of product in there too. And that's just kind of my personal take on how I do some of my retail stuff. What kind of shoes sell best on eBay? Regular Adidas sell or only hype shoes? I can't, that's way too broad of a question to answer what kind of shoes sell best on eBay. You've just got to check all the comps. You can walk into one store and you can look at a wall of shoes and I can't tell you which ones sell best. You've just got to take the time to do the research. But I will tell you that the hype shoes, so like if you got these new sneakers that drop, usually the ones that are going to be hyped the most are going to be worth the most. But everyday walking shoes, everyday running shoes sell on Amazon and eBay as well. So there's no right answer to that. You've really just got to put in the effort. Because I can give you a list of the top 10 shoes to sell on eBay, but here's the reality. Do you want to be given the fish or do you want to learn to fish, right? So you got to put in that time to get in there and do the work. What's up, Aspen? Welcome to your first live chat. Have you ever heard of or used the OA web app Sale Freaks? Looks really impressive. I have not looked into that one. Do I sell TA lists for the UK? Unfortunately, we do not specifically for the UK. I've never dealt with the UK market as far as reselling goes, so I have no idea if the products would work. But we do have another side business called the Daily OA, which is where we give you a list of already pre-sourced products through OA that you can go and purchase to sell on Amazon. But yeah, the way you would work it out, because a lot of the US companies won't ship to UK, obviously, unless you're going through the UK system. But a lot of people out of country, what they'll do is they'll use a US-based prep center, and then you can then do OA purchases US and have them prepped at a US-based prep center, and then they'll ship it into your Amazon account for you. What's up, Reselling with Rob? Rob, I was scrolling through. I didn't have time to read it, but I saw Rob dropped a little bit of a rant, so I have to keep a mental note to go through tonight and read that. I figured it was going to be good. Usually the long ones are good, so I gotta get on that. Oh, nice, Brett. Just moved to Portland from Atlanta. Right now, I install commercial wall covering, sell on Amazon part-time, hopefully full-time soon. That's awesome. Do you only purchase clearance items at places like Target or Walmart? No. If you are only going to big box stores, you're going to have the biggest saturation. Because think about it. When you're new to Amazon or eBay or any type of reselling and you think, wow, I want to go purchase some clearance, right? The number two, there's two stores, Target and Walmart, that everyone goes to. There is money to be made. Don't get me wrong. But it's going to be a cutthroat ball game, especially if you're only looking down the clearance aisles. If you've got a product that you scan and it shows a few dollars profit, by the time you send it to Amazon or even on eBay, by the time you get that thing active for resale, it's not going to be worth a whole lot because you've got thousands of other people scanning the same stuff. Because when Walmarts and Targets or any big box store, when they discount one type of product, chances are they're discounting it in all the different ones throughout the entire US. So those two big box stores, there is money to be made. I purchase plenty of Walmart and Target stuff every single week, but sometimes it's not about the clearance aisle. And that just comes from experience. What's up, Justin Pac-Man? All right, let's see here. I got to scroll back up. My chat keeps bumping down. All right, if I do miss questions, obviously sometimes it's kind of hard to get to every single one. If I do miss your question you want to answer, just repost that for me. Just started following and just started getting ready to start RA, ready to dive in. I'm dedicating $100 a week. Just figured out where to start. Yep, absolutely. Start with $100 a week and just buy stuff. And my biggest tip, especially to anyone who's new, if you've only sold a few items or you haven't sold anything and you're looking into it, create a separate account and you have to treat that money separately, because this was the biggest mistake we made in the beginning. And I'm completely transparent and open about pretty much all of our mistakes we made. When you are reselling, if you don't have a separate account, I don't care if it's a personal checking account, I would urge you to get a business account and treat it like a business. But either way, have a separate account for your reselling business. Because if you are mixing that money in with personal money, you're going to really lose track of how much you're honestly making and how much you should be reinvesting. Because if you invest, let's say that $100, you invest $100, you make 150, and then you get that put back into your account. That 150 is blended in with all your other incomes, your other money. And then you have bills to pay and you pay all your bills. And then you have $50 left. You're like, well, crap, I only have $50 to source this week. That's where it starts to get messy. And you're going to have a really hard time scaling and growing, because that's what happened to us. The second that we created a separate account and treated it like its own business, like a real business, that's when we were able to accurately track how much we're making. And then when we got Amazon deposits, when we got eBay, PayPal transfers that came in, we knew exactly how much we had to source through the week or 2 weeks for Amazon's case. And we weren't overspending. So we knew exactly how much we were playing around with. But yeah, you can totally, it's going to be hard, but you can start with $100 a week. In this game, the more capital you have to start with, obviously a little bit easier to go and make a ton of money, because if you're investing 10K and you make, even on the low end, if you invest 10K in a product and you make 2K, that's $2,000 in your pocket that you just made. But if you only have $100 and you did that same 20%, you're only going to make $20. So you've got to really figure out what you want to do with your capital, but you can start with $100 a week and just snowball that thing as fast as you can and as much as you can. When you sell VCRs, do you print off a manual and include it or not? Does it seem to improve sales if you do? I personally have not messed around with it a whole lot, but I'm definitely going to start. I want to start treating the electronics account a little bit more seriously. So I am going to start printing off manuals on the ones that are a higher price. If I'm selling a $40 VCR, it's going to cost me $15 or $20 to ship. Not a whole lot of room for big profit. So I'm probably not going to go through the effort of using up, 50 pages of my paper to print off a manual. But if I sell one that's worth $60 or $100 or 100 plus, then yeah, I'm going to go through the effort, see if I can get a hold of a remote for it, get some cables for it, and print off a manual just to make it look better. All right. I think we're caught up where I should be. I'm thinking about doing an electronics only eBay store. What do you think? Yeah, go for it. I mean, there's no necessity to do it. I only did it because I wanted to do that 100 to 10K challenge. And that was going to be the best way for me to track it. And I sell pretty much only electronics on eBay. I'll also sell toner and shoes. So just kind of like those general products. So for me, I don't know. I just felt like I wanted a separate account for it. And I had never done eBay myself. Trista was always the one that did all the eBay stuff because she runs clothing. So I thought it would be just a good learning experience for me to get my hands on and run it from absolute scratch. So I learned real quick. starting an eBay account is a pain in the butt. You've got to go through your 21-day hold on all your funds, especially on electronics when you're selling stuff for 80 plus. Our average sale price on that account, I think we flipped about 100 products so far, and our average sale price was between $70 and $80. So it was a great ASP, but because you're selling higher end stuff or higher ticket items, they're going to put holds on that a lot more than they probably will on cheap stuff. So there was a lot of 21-day holds, not getting to access your money, which makes it tough to turn and burn real quick. But for me, it was a great learning experience for me to start that separate account and go for it. Do you need it? No. It just depends on why you would want a separate eBay store for it. How do you use payability without getting reamed of your profit from the 2% gross fees? Here's how I look at it. It's a great option if you do not have access to higher credit lines, 0% credit cards, all that good stuff, which we still don't. I've been open also about our credit history was crap. We let that thing tank because we maxed out cards. We had personal debt we weren't paying off. So our credit tanked. So when I got into reselling, I don't have access to these big credit lines or the low interest credit cards. So when payability came along, I was happy to do that 2% fee. And how I look at it is if you're going to be, and it's all based on your previous day sales, right? So you're going to be paying 2% on what your gross sales is. So to make up for that, one, they've got their card you can use, right? Like the debit card, and you get a percentage back on that as well. So that helps minimize it. And then on top of that, you're going for speed. So if you've got a type of business where you're purchasing large amounts and you're not burning through it really fast, probably not going to be the best option. But because we have a fast turn business model, for me to get an Amazon paycheck, I'll spend it in a day. I cannot get access to enough money. I have no problem finding product. I have a problem spending too much. So my benefit that came for me was not, I don't care about the percentage and the fee and all that. I'll happily pay a 2% fee if I can get access to my money the next day. So I'm able to go out and source at least every other day because I have those deposits coming in, versus if I had to wait 2 weeks for an Amazon paycheck and then I got it and I spent that money within 2 days, I'm sitting around doing nothing for 10 to 11, 12 days because I don't have any more cash to spend. So to have that daily deposit, I only pull it out every 2 or 3 days now. I let it stack up just a little bit and then I pull it out and I go source. For me, that's been great, especially this time of year, because right now there's certain products that are a game of speed. And if I've got a list of products I know which stores are carrying and I don't have the cash to go buy it, then I'm screwed. I'm not going to make anything. So I've got to play a game of speed. So that's where my benefit is with it. And it's just like any other program, any other service out there, it's not going to be for everybody, but it's been benefiting us. What's up, Kenneth? First live chat. Started thrifting this week and already sold 2 items. That's awesome, man. 8 days, no sugar. How do you do that? It really is not that bad. Here's the thing when it comes to like cutting something out, there's always going to be this like 3 to 5 day transition. That's the tough part. But once you get through the swing of it, and I don't care if you're cutting out booze, if you're cutting out sugar, like whatever you're cutting out. But for me, day 5 is always the marker. So sure enough, days 1 and 2, I remember being not hungry, but just really bad cravings, especially towards the end of the night. Day 3 and 4, just really sluggish, low energy, did not feel like doing a ton, wasn't motivated to do much. Day 5, like right on the dot, I woke up and I felt awesome. And then I'm now on day 8. I went out and sourced for 8 straight hours. I took 1 break to eat and I feel great. I have tons of energy. I'm mentally clear. I don't have the fog. You guys probably can't tell because you don't see me every day, but the bags under my eyes are almost gone. And I've also been pairing that with, of course, exercise. And then I've actually been sleeping more, which is a big one for me. I was in a bad habit of staying up till like 1 or 2 in the morning. So I've been sleeping more. combination of those healthy habits, man, I feel good. I'm in a really good spot right now mentally. What camera do I use to film? I use, oh, it's not on my tripod. It's right there. I use a Canon M6. I bought it new. It was $900. I got the Rode mic to go with it. So it's about $1,000 setup. And that thing's awesome. I do not know how to mess with, I'm not a techie photographer person. So I don't know how to adjust aperture, the manual settings. I don't know how to do any of that crap. I'm sure I can make way better quality videos if I just took an hour and sat down and learned it. I just haven't. So I just use the auto setting on movie mode and it turns out great. I love the color grading that it has. The smoothness of it, the autofocus is fantastic. It's very snappy, very quick, which is key, especially because we started doing vlogging again. So when you vlog, you know, you're carrying your camera around, you're never in a stable position. You're forward and back and side to side. So to have that autofocus is key on that. If you resell Nike, would you get in trouble? Depends where you got them. I would not resell Nike. It depends what you're talking about. If you're talking about Amazon, do not sell Nike on Amazon unless it is complete with the box from a Nike store, because the Nike receipts will have those UPCs on them and you can fight IP claims or anything like that if you get in trouble with them. Counterfeit claims, all that. As far as eBay goes, as long as there was a swing, and most of you probably remember there was a swing where people on eBay were getting in trouble because they were listing, if for example you go to Ross or Burlington Coat Factory, any discount store, typically those are going to be defects. That's why they get them. So they might just have like a tiny little snag on the string or on the side or something like that. If you go in and flip that onto eBay and you're listing it as brand new, then that's where they were getting people in trouble with, because they wanted you to list it new. I don't list a lot of shoes, so I don't remember what the specific one was. There's a drop down and it was like new with defects or something like that. So it's just accurately listing it. As long as you're being accurate with your listing, then you really don't have much to worry about. When shipping your heavy electronics, do you use free shipping? If so, how do you avoid getting burned if someone buys it in Alaska or Puerto Rico? I do free shipping on all of our pretty much our entire store as far as electronics go. I don't think I've done one listing and charged shipping for it. I just make sure that I know about how much it's going to cost to go to the furthest end either way. And I have shipped a few things to Alaska and it was higher in shipping. So I'm always making sure I have a lot of margin in my products. So my average buy cost really is probably about $20 to $30. And my average sell price is between 70 and 80. Now, of course, it varies product to product, but if I were to look at our store as a whole and break down the numbers, which I've done in previous videos, then that's kind of the margin we're playing with. So I have wiggle room. If it's something really heavy and really big, I've got to be able to sell it for usually 200 plus is where I like to sell that stuff, which we've done. You guys probably remember that big old printer. This thing was 34 pounds. I don't remember what the length was. I want to say it was 28. No, it was longer than 28. There was a big old printer. Bought that thing for $180, which usually I don't do buy cost that high, but the data was there. So I went for it. So I spent $180. It was listed for 2 days and it sold for $599. And that one cost me I think it was $88, 2-day priority with insurance. So I actually got a really good deal for 2-day priority. It was going, I think, 3 states over. So that was an example of a big, heavy item that I had a lot of wiggle room in my pricing. So even if I had to spend $150, I still would have made some money on it. Okay, let me see if I can tackle some more questions here for you. Do you use your phone camera or a Bluetooth scanner? I just use my phone camera. It can be a pain sometimes, especially if you're in the low reception stores that don't have Wi-Fi. It can be a pain to sit there and just played it. I always get Jeopardy music playing in my head when I'm just waiting for it to focus. It could be a pain. Bluetooth scanners. I have one. I actually have a couple extra KDCs I need to do a giveaway with. So I have a KDC scanner. I just don't use it a ton. I probably should. Now that I'm sourcing a couple days a week, I should probably bring it. Let me scroll back up. I think I missed a chunk. All right. Sorry, guys. Trying to keep up with here. Will prices on toys start to increase as we get closer to the end of November into December? I'm just wondering if I need to stay put on my prices, even though I am $5 off buy box. Yes. So when we're dealing with toys, because every season there's huge flood of new toys that come out. There's tons of them out there right now. You can go buy and sell. But right now, supply is still high in the stores. A lot of these hot toys are still fairly easy to get a hold of. So prices are not going to be that great. You might make a few dollars on some of these products right now. So what we need to do is just play the waiting game. So you either need to get comfortable doing a very quick flip for a very low ROI right now, because that's where they're at. We can't change it. We can't adjust it. That's just where we're at. Number two, you've got to wait until after Black Friday, because, and really not just Black Friday is great. It's okay over the weekend. And then Cyber Monday is great. People, here's why peak season happens like first and second week of December. People are lazy and people procrastinate. So by the time the second week of December gets here, which I think based on last year, I think that was like peak week, was second week in December. People are realizing, oh crap, December's here. We're halfway through the month. Christmas is in a week and a half, and I got to get my stuff ordered. So that's why there's this big influx of sales that come in. That's when you're going to be able to cash out on some of these hot toys for the peak dollar. But you've got to find that sweet spot, because it's like a curve, right? Right now, it's not worth a whole lot, because there's a big supply, which means there's a lot of sellers selling it. When there's a lot of sellers selling something, guess what happens? They price drop each other all the way down to where there's pretty much no profit. And then fear kicks in. I made a bad buy, and then they cash out, sometimes losing money. That's just how the seller's brain works. So right now we're at the bottom of that curve. Black Friday is going to start to creep up because people start thinking more about Christmas. Right now, people are thinking about Thanksgiving from a regular customer's point of view. We as resellers are thinking about Christmas all the time, but regular people are still stuck on Thanksgiving. So after Black Friday, people realize, okay, it's time to shop. We ate our turkey. We had our potatoes. We're good. Let's shop now. So after Black Friday, that curve happens. And then, like first and second week of December is peak. So that's where you get a cash out for your top dollar. Some people love, it depends how much capital you have. Okay. If you've got a ton of capital, which this is what I would do. If I just had unlimited funds, I would go buy everything humanly possible and hold it right now, because I know those prices are going to really spike at that second week. And I would hold on to it and cash all my stuff out at top dollar. That is if I had unlimited resources. Most of us don't. So you've got to find that sweet spot where, do you cash out now for a 10% ROI or even 5% ROI? Do you cash out kind of in that middle swing, which is going to be Black Friday through that first week of December? And do you cash out at maybe like a 20, 30% ROI? Or are you trying to double your money and wait until week 2 of December? And even into week 3 is still great too. And keep in mind, Q4 goes throughout January as well. It's not limited to just Christmas. People, for some reason, think Christmas Day is the cutoff. People are getting gift cards for Christmas for Amazon and eBay. So January can be awesome as well. So keep that in mind. That's how my brain works with it all. I don't know if that's the right way or the best way. It's just my way of thinking. I just look at it as it's all on a curve. I gotta choose where on the curve I'm happy with cashing out. And I think it really just comes down to how much capital you have. The more capital you have, the more you can hold on to stuff, and it really doesn't affect you. But if you're short on cash, you got to quick flip. That's how you got to play that game. If you could put one number on the percentage that Amazon gets from your sale, what number would that be? I'd say 30 to 35% as far as like total fees that they're taking. It really it depends on the product. If you've got a super light product that you're selling for $9, they're going to take a big chunk out of that. If you've got there's a sweet spot that like $12 to $20 range is a really sweet spot to be in. If you sell the super heavy or big stuff, they're going to take more out too. I think it's 30 to 35% off the top of my head. I'm sure they've got a chart or somebody knows the specific answer to that. I should do an iPhone XS Plus giveaway. We'll see about that one. I am going to be doing some giveaways pretty soon, though. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, that's another good tip right there. I want to hit that. Cisco said prices are going up. Check Keepa. So Keepa, if you don't know, Keepa, it's Keepa. Keepa.com will track the history of any Amazon product. So you get a full graph that shows you everything. Shows you how many sellers were on it throughout its whole history. Shows you the rank, which is how fast it's selling, how many have sold. And then it will also show you the pricing. So if it's a product this Christmas you're looking to flip, this season, if you're looking to flip a product that was around last season, you can look at the big picture, expand that Keepa chart out over, you can do its whole life if it's been around more than a year, or you can filter it down to just show a year. So what you can do is you can look back to last November and December. What was the average price and what did the graph look like? And you can determine if it's worth buying now, even though it may be a break-even price right now. Is it worth buying now while there's still stock to flip it when the stock goes out at that price it sold for last year? So that's I mean, everyone's different. You got to play which game you want to play with that. Some people are comfortable doing that. I have buys right now that I'm buying up like that, stuff that's not profitable right this second, but I know come December, I'm going to be making money on them. What kind of printer do we use for Amazon? Here's my dilemma with the printer situation. Maybe somebody can help me. I have a Dymo 450 for labels, your typical FN SKU labels for Amazon. And I have a Dymo 4XL for shipping labels. Do you need both of them? Absolutely not. You can use a Dymo 4XL and swap out the labels, but I am lazy, so I don't want to swap out labels every time. So I just have two of them connected to my computer, so I could just click which one I wanted to print to. Then I upgraded to Rollo, which Rollo is fantastic when it works. Rollo with eBay, amazing. Have not had any issues. Super fast, way faster than Dymo. I love it a lot more than Dymo. Rollo with Amazon shipping labels, I cannot for the life of me figure out how to get them to print clearly. I have adjusted every darkness setting. I have adjusted every speed setting. I have adjusted everything I know how. And I cannot get those damn things to print off clearly. So I'm switching back to just pure Dymo 4XL, Dymo 450 for Amazon. We still use the Rollo for eBay because we got our eBay shipping station back there. So if anyone has the secret on how to get Rollo to print Amazon shipping labels, please let me know. I think it might be because it's a 4x6. See, this is where I don't understand why it works with Dymo, but it won't work with Rollo. It's a 4x6 label we want printed, but Amazon's shipping labels are formatted to 8x11. So something with that transfer, that sizing, is just not connecting with that Rollo. I have used azlabels.com, which will format it into a thermal printer format, so you can print off those 4x6s. Still does the exact same thing. I don't know if it's my computer. I don't know if it's settings I'm using, if it's Google Chrome. I got to mess around with some different stuff. So that's my dilemma of the week. Jonathan said, I've set aside $2,500 for retail arbitrage. What should I do with it to start? Go buy. Buy. We are in prime buying season right now. Go out and do exactly what I said earlier. Go to a store, choose any department. I don't care if it's toys, clearance aisle, home and kitchen, grocery. Don't leave until you scan every single product. It will take you hours. Most people don't take me up on this challenge. Go and scan every single item, even the boring ones, even the ones that you walk by, you're like, meh, that's not going to sell. Scan every single item. You will find product. And then you spend your $2,500, flip it. And I'm a fan of cash flow. So you got to quick flip it. So spend the 2,500, see if you can make 1,000 profit. So you'll get 3,500 out of that initial investment. Take that 3,500, invest that into more product. See if you can make 2,000 on that. And then you just keep snowballing and keep the money separate. If humanly possible, I don't know your situation. Everyone's different. If humanly possible, I want you to take that money, open up a separate account, and keep your business money in your business. Do not pull it out to go party on the weekend. Don't pull it out to pay bills. Just keep it in the business and snowball it, because I'm telling you, that is the number one mistake we made for the first year in our business. We had to pay our bills. I'm the first to say we probably quit our jobs too soon. We did not have a big savings account. We had to use reselling to pay our bills. So we were just taking money out, paying bills, putting what we could back in inventory. And that's why we had such a slow growth. And the second that we switched that mentality and really kept it separate, it was a game changer. Question: who is or are your biggest inspirations, and do you still follow them and learn from them? Absolutely. And I actually do not have any one specific over the other, because I've literally listened to every single YouTuber, influencer, whatever you want to call us. I've listened to every single one of them. I follow pretty much all of the major accounts in the reselling community, and I have learned something from each person. So I will tell you, in the very beginning, I wasn't even around 3 years ago, right? I just started the account 3 years ago. When I started, it was Raken, and Raken's been doing this one of the longest, and Pete, Craigslist Hunter. Those are my two main ones I was following in the beginning, and I still follow both of them. I follow everyone else. I tune into everyone else's live shows when I can. I tune into everyone's recorded videos, and I really do. I take any type of like, I know that already mindset. I always take that off, and I really just try to be coachable. I try to be open to new advice, listen to their tips, and I really try to implement it the best I can. So yeah, definitely love Craigslist Hunter. Craigslist Hunter and Raken were my first two I followed. So I got a special place for them, but they're definitely in my playlist. Oh, sweet. Omar's coming to Portland for Christmas. Yeah, hit me up when you're up here, and you got my number and all that, so hit me up. And that's kind of an open invite for anyone, by the way. I know we got quite a few Northwest people up here. If you guys ever want to stop by the shop here, go out and grab lunch, I'm pretty open. I'm an open book, so I'm more than happy to connect with people. Ah, my chat bumped down again. No. Let me see if I can scroll back up real quick. I bought 2 board games that shrink wrapped, but it is making the item very long in length. The packages look like each are factory wrapped. Would you repackage it and send it to Amazon? If your listing is new, do not repackage anything. That would be against the condition guidelines. You've just got to list accurately. So if you guys don't know, go to Amazon condition guidelines. You can Google that, and it's a full thing. It shows you exactly what the conditions are and what you should be listing those under. So I would go back through and read those and list it whatever is necessary. Whoa, what happened to the stream? Are we back clear? People are commenting something happened to the stream. Hopefully we're still good. All right. I'm sitting here reading. I just turned into a Powder Puff Girl clip. Did a clip of Powder Puff Girls really show up? Oh my gosh, I can't wait to watch the recording now. It's so funny. What are shipping credits when scanning on the Amazon Sellers app? So if you have your settings to merchant filled, Amazon, when you merchant fill something, you are directly shipping to the customer. If you're doing fulfilled by Amazon FBA, then you're shipping to Amazon. Amazon takes care of the shipping to the customer. So if you're directly shipping to the customer, Amazon will actually give you a shipping credit. And that's why you have people that can make money by selling a book for less than $1, but they charge $4.99 shipping or $5.99 shipping because Amazon's giving them a credit and they go for volume. So they're selling thousands of books with that model and they make money doing it. I get investing your profits back into the business, but if I do need extra cash, then how do I efficiently take some cash out? That's where I would have to refer you over to your local CPA or accountant, bookkeeper, whoever you work with on your accounting. They can accurately tell you how to do a draw, that's what it's called, and all that good stuff. I'm not an accountant, I'm not a CPA, so I don't really tell people how to maneuver their money. There's different methods to do it. You can write yourself a check, transfer, all kinds of ways, but you would need to consult with whoever your people are. You were on the moon there for a second. I'm so curious to see what happened in that. Question, best advice to give on getting permission to sell big name brands and how to get a source for them. Google. You need to Google who the distributors are and go through those distributors, and that's how you get work your way up. And here's the thing, when you're talking about working directly with brands in the wholesale ball game, money talks. And that's, I can tell you all day long, like, oh yeah, just find a distributor and you can do wholesale. Like, not exactly. The people who kill it with wholesale, that you need to start with $5,000 and $10,000 and $20,000. And that's stuff that people don't like to talk about. Can you start with $1,000 doing wholesale? If you find a really good source, yeah, you're going to slowly work your way up, but money talks in the wholesale game. That's why we don't do a ton of wholesale right now. We have a few SKUs that we do wholesale on, but we don't do a ton of wholesale because I don't have $20,000 just to put into a load of product right this second. That's why I love RA and OA, because it's a way to generate that income, and you snowball that until it's large enough. You can then put it into wholesale or private label. But yeah, you can find most brands just through Google and Google distributors. Oh, sweet. Sam's going to be up here next week. Yeah, if you guys hit me up, Instagram, Side Hustle Pros, you could just DM me or email me, chaz@sidehustlepros.com. Yeah, more than happy to meet up with people if you want to swing by the shop. Love connecting. Yes. Have I seen Gary Vee's new garage sale flipping show? It's called Trash Talk. And do I like it? I love it because it's the same type of content I love to watch, and it's the same kind of content I've produced for the last 3 years. Usually during summertime is when I bring my camera with me and do garage sales just the same way he's doing. So I love it. And plus, Gary's one of the original people that was doing flipping when he first started. Him and his brother were doing garage sales years and years ago before he started doing the rest of it. Am I using a scanning app? I actually only use two. One, my primary one is the Amazon Sellers app, and number two is Scoutify 2. And Scoutify will come free with your subscription to Inventory Lab. Have I ever had Amazon lose an item? Yes, way too many of them. If Amazon damages any of your product, if they lose any of your product, technically they're supposed to automatically reimburse you after 45 days, but you need to track that stuff because sometimes they don't, and then you need to open up a case and fight for that reimbursement. Hey, there you go. Vixens are just up in Seattle. I'm actually planning a Seattle trip pretty soon. My video editor lives up there, so I'm gonna. We're contemplating having him come down here and play D-Rock. So next vlog, he's gonna play D-Rock for a couple days, and I'm also gonna go to Seattle where he's at because I want to go to Funko headquarters. Got to get my geek on, and I want. So either way, I'm gonna have my video guys do some D-Rock. That's the hardest part, by the way, real quick. The hardest part about doing YouTube and vlogs is the fact that I feel like every 5 seconds I have to like take my camera and be like, oh, hold on. Okay, stop what I'm doing. Gotta get my camera. Okay, guys, here's what I don't enjoy that part. I would produce vlogs every day if I had somebody that was just doing what D-Rock does for Gary Vee. I would be all over that. I would be able to give you guys a lot more behind the scenes content. I enjoy and have passion for videos and creating content. I don't have passion for and enjoy carrying my camera around with me everywhere. And this is my phone, but my bigger camera, I don't like carrying that around with me everywhere, especially when I'm sourcing and having to take it out every 5 minutes. And here's what I'm doing now. And here's what I'm doing now. I personally just don't like having that urge to always be doing that. But if I had somebody here, if anyone's local and wants to do that for me, please let me know. If anyone wants to play D-Rock, I would be all over that until I can afford one until I can afford somebody to come out and do that like once a week. Then for now, you guys get the live show, you get some tutorials, and you get, we're trying to get back to one vlog a week because usually I'll take clips a couple times throughout every day throughout the whole week and then splice it together. All right, crew, we are nearing our time together for tonight. I would love to hang out with you guys more. I seriously I have done this before. I've been on live for 3 hours before. The video is recorded, and shout out to Rob, because I know Rob was one of the guys that hung out all 3 hours live. Yeah, when I was cleaning, no, I wasn't cleaning. I was testing VCRs. So as much as I do love being up here, I also enjoy my family time. I've not seen my 3-year-old all day or my wife. So I'm going to go home and hang out with them for the night. But if you guys would like to see, I usually do these Tuesday nights. If you guys would like to see a bonus live Q&A session, drop a comment. Let me know. I always give you guys what the demand is. So if there's demand for another live Q&A session, then I'm more than happy to hop up here for 45, 60 minutes and do that. Gretchen, my admin, she said, I don't have 3 hours tonight, Chaz. She's also 2 hours ahead of me. So shout out to East Coast. The wife is on here. Oh, is Trista sneaking in the chat here? I'm surprised I haven't been asked to bring home ice cream again. Usually that's what she does. All right. We're going to do a couple more questions real quick. Ouch. Mary said one negative feedback from customer over a $5 product. Fight it as much as you can. Amazon's a pain, but you got to open up a case and fight it as much as you can. Depends what the negative feedback was about. If it was anything relating to on-time shipping or late shipping, the way the product was boxed, if it was a product review, a pricing issue, you can usually get those removed fairly easily. When you compare in general, which brings you a better ROI? Wholesale, OA, RA. I know it depends on the product, but in general, the majority of cases, in general, that's actually a really good question. Wholesale is no. There's a few wholesale SKUs you can double your money on. If you guys follow Watch Me Amazon Larry, he's the master at finding wholesale products that he doubles his money on. So he's getting 100% ROI. In general, most of the time you're dealing with like 15 to 20%, sometimes 30% on a good product. That's kind of your sweet spot with wholesale. With retail arbitrage and online arbitrage, I don't think I have a preference over either one because I have many SKUs on each that I double my money on. I have one SKU I'm selling through right now. I bought 55 of them. I'm halfway sold in 2 weeks. So I'm actually going to be ordering more. It's a seasonal product. It's $7 for me to have it shipped here, and I have Amazon prep it and label it. That way I don't have to take this. I don't have to take this out of the box. So the boxes get here, I slap my labels back on them and ship them to Amazon. With the prep and shipping and all that, it cost me $7, and I'm able to sell it for about $25, $26. And I'm able to profit after fees and shipping and cost. I'm profiting $7. So I'm right on 100% ROI. And that's an OA product. I have a wholesale account with that product, that brand, and I can get it cheaper by doing OA on it than I can with wholesale because I'm able to use cash back, whether it's cashback credit card or you're looking at a cashback Ebates or top cashback website. So I'm actually able to get it a little bit cheaper doing OA. And then RA, I mean, it's the same story. All right, let me scroll down. We're at our time. Yeah, Rob said I'd say OA. With RA, you have to factor in fuel. That is actually a really good point. OA, because with retail arbitrage, you have to factor in fuel and vehicle wear and tear. Absolutely. And it's a lot more time that goes into it too, because you have to go out there and drive. Like today, I spent 7 to 8 hours just driving around sourcing. So I could have stayed at home and did some tactical arbitrage and spent just as much and got as much product if I just spent a few hours doing OA. So ideally, I like to personally just have a mix, but OA is definitely a huge time saver, and you're not spending money on gas. And on top of that too, usually when you go out and source for that long, you got to eat, right? I spent $12 at Chipotle today for a bowl. So I have to deduct that $12 out of what my profit would have been for the day. All right, we're done. Peace out, crew. I love you guys. Comment below. Would you like to see a kind of a bonus pop-up live Q&A session throughout the week? It won't be a scheduled thing. I'll kind of just pop up in here whenever I get some extra time. I really do just love chilling here and chit-chatting with you guys though. So aside from that, be sure to subscribe to the channel if you're not already. Some people were asking about not getting emails or anything when we're going live or uploading videos or missing them. You have to click that little bell notification right next to subscribe, and it will notify you each time. Well, it should. It's supposed to. It doesn't always, but and last but certainly not least, hit the like button, because that shows us that you like the videos, you like the content, and I'll keep doing more if you guys like it. So aside from that, peace out, crew. Love y'all. We'll see you soon.